Amitava Das, modern and contemporary artist, India, born 1947. Amitava Das works are primarily based on human situations, where humans are both the creator and the destroyer. The natural and the artificial are cleverly fused to show the interdependence of the man-made and the natural worlds. He tries to bring out the inner struggles of human placed in difficult times. Amitabh is best known for his existential vision of human forms in his works. From the gentleness and resignation in his earlier works, he moved on to canvases that depict the violence and avarice of modern times. Working with a variety of mediums, Amitabh uses watercolors, oils, and pastels to portray his thoughts and feelings evoked by his observation of the life around him. In the 70s, Amitabh co-founded the new group, a Delhi-based artists collective. He received the national award Lalit Kala Akademi in 1976. The artist has participated in several exhibitions in India and abroad. Amitabh continues to remain a keen observer of the world around him, translating his thought process into semi-abstract paintings.
Some of my childhood days in Shimla, because my father was working over in Shimla, and that's why there is a great influence of in my childhood, all those hills and those environment. There is a great influence. My work becomes very positive from that point of view at that time, because of the outer world. We are not confined to the inner world. So outer world, my childhood experience is still there in my vocabulary, in my work. But in between, when after my college days or during my college days, there were lots of turmoil. In political turmoil was there, like Che Guevara's revolution was there, and people were became politically aware, and there are all kinds of political movement. So that is also has affected in my work. So that time I used to work only interior based work, which is not outside world, but it was like inside the in a four wall space, because that time it seemed to me that outside world is very violent and negative thing. So that reflection was there in my work at that time, and I used to do like my work was, I used to do lots of drawings at that time, and my work was mainly black and white with pen and ink, and I used to draw, and the positive lines were eliminated so that I can create another negative lines. So that was my process. So most of the things I have done with pen and ink, not with brush or anything. And also I was studying at that time, so some of the things were actually based on the syllabus of the studies and things, but I used to practice my own work separately from that time only. There is a reason also behind that, because when I was in school, I was exposed to a very big French art exhibition that came to Delhi, and they were showing works from 15th century onwards to 21st century, and mostly 15th century works were tapestries. French tapestry was very famous, and all those things, and also the contemporary works were there, like Braque and Picasso, Chagall, Daumier, Toulouse-Lautrec. So I was so stunned and overwhelmed with those works. At that time I was in school, and I knew about Picasso and all those people, and I was standing in front of those works and I feel like touching them, and I started touching each painting to get that vibrancy, that vibes. So that way you can say I was baptized to art. Melancholy and more introvert kind of things. Yeah, after that I passed out from college and joined as a lecturer in some of the art college. So I used to go in the morning to my class, and that I used to go. We have those outer ring road, so we used to go through that ring road, and that time I was exposed to the vast land and the landscape. So my introvert work becomes outward bound. That was a great change, and also my memory of Shimla. So that reflected at that time in my work. In this particular studio, in these particular paintings, I tried to create a kind of presence of human beings, but not naturalistically, but through different forms. And there is a tension and suspended atmosphere in those works. It is revealing as well as it is hiding. Both the play is going on. Like the viewer will think what it is, and also will think no, it is this, it is that. So that kind of play is there in these works, and it is also that kinetic feeling, the movement of the soul, not just movement of the eye. It is more or less static. It is a standing figure, but you discover different elements and you experience different elements, which makes you feel sometimes tense, sometimes very suspicious also, and there is and also you feel that something is going to happen. So it also indicates the future. Future is unknown. So that unknown things are feel that it is something is going to happen. That is the future. Actually, any art, whether it is abstract or figurative, these are isms, or impressionism or abstractionism or cubism. These are actually, you can say, people or critics, they try to describe art and they classify art in that way. I won't fit in any box, because I also work figurative, I also work non-figurative, both. And the main thing is whether it is figure or whether it is abstract, there is even in figurative work, a notion of abstraction is always there. Nowadays, I am not interested in photorealism and things, because for photorealism we have great revolution in this camera and digital age. So that is not required, I think. That's why I am trying to invent a language which is not there, which does not exist. So that is my practice. That is the practice I am doing. Of course, you cannot do it alone. You are living in this society, in this world. So those reflections, those experiences is bound to be there. Nowadays, world, if you see the world, it is not in a very peaceful state. So in my today's work, I generally use black. Black is the very intense color, and also it reflects the time, the present time. And also I use in contrast some red or some blue, just to signify the black in the format of white. That thing is not yet arrived with me, but I'll tell you a story about it. Story in the sense, because many a fake painting business becomes very important once. So people started doing fake works and very skillfully done, and also like Picasso once said that if your paintings are not faked, then you are not a great artist. So it was his humor and things like that. But nowadays fake paintings have become less because of the technology. Now you have such technology like digital technology, where you can easily reproduce the work, and maybe manually you can work little bit with oil or with acrylic, whatever. So now, because nowadays people have become very aware, they also test the painting chemically and the age of the canvas. No, in India actually we don't have that much visual literacy. People are great, they are great in IIT, information technology and all these things, but in terms of visual art, that point of literacy is not there. It is yet to be developed. So sometimes people, they buy fake paintings without knowing the fact that it is a fake, and some and fake business is also going on in India, because in India now paintings and auction houses have become very active. Some of the artists' works are selling like in crores. So it has become a very lucrative business also. So people try to do fake also, because our visual literacy is not yet developed. It is yet to be developed in that level, like IT, information technology and all these things. Yeah, generally nowadays people ask for authenticity certificate. So we give. Generally, there is no such thing as royalty. They don't want royalty. They just want from an artist that this work is done by you. That is the authenticity. Otherwise they are free to use. Basically, no one challenges them. Also, it is better if they use it in wide media, different media, so that your paintings will be visible. Many people will see your paintings. So that way, I think it is a good thing. Does not matter. It will give you a wide exposure, your work, and authenticity. They want that, they think that yes, I have bought or collected an original work of art, and I have got the authenticity from the artist. So that way it is good. No, actually pricing is not determined like in that way. It is not. It's a very complex market. How the prices goes, and I tell you, most of the artists in their life, when they are living, they don't get that much money. They get money after their death. Family or the collector or the investor, they make use of it. Actually, artists, they don't get that much money. They get, some artists are like selling in high prices and things like that, but not like auction price, not in auction price. Actually, this whole event has been sponsored by Raja Foundation of Delhi and NCB. So that way it happened for the first time, and it is also to activate this area. So that's why this art activities, this is residency has started, and in Nepal I don't feel that I am in a foreign country or in a foreign land, because culturally many things are similar to us. So there is no alienation or anything like that. We feel the same that way. Only little things are different in language. Of course, in India also we have so many languages. So that is not a barrier at all. We feel, at least me, I don't feel culturally or otherwise different. Some of the cultural motifs, I visited Patan and all those places, they were more or less like whatever we have in India and things like that. like Buddha or the Shiva, Pashupatinath. So there are different dhams, you know. So one of the dham is here in Nepal, one is Banaras, like that. One is Kedarnath. So that way, that spirituality and the cultural aspect of it, more or less it is the same. Overall experience is that I am away from the city, I am away from the metropolitan conditions of a city, and it was like living in a living in the lap of nature. That is the main thing. That is a great experience, and it's so pure. The air is so pure, and all the vegetation and water bodies. It is part of our great experience.